We went up to the Tate Modern, and we're part of a program called the Tate Exchange, where you go to the 5th floor of the Tate, and it's a blank space.
Tate Exchange felt like home from home. The space on the 5th floor of the Switch House is very like the Red House. It's a very open, discursive space. It's a space that you can move around. So at one level we felt at home there, but it was also the first moment where the whole Continuum community sort of came together to create a school. The youngest student of which was 5 years old, and the oldest probably in their 50s, and it's the opportunity to work across those levels in a new place, to go out to the horizon and make something there and make something happen there. That was extraordinary.
So it was a group of staff and students right across the whole continuum, working together as a whole group of students in one of the Tate's galleries.
As soon as we got there, the train to London was quite peaceful, like really quiet, and then as soon as we come off there, a bit loud at the train station, we got on the tube. Bro, it was packed, it stank down in the tube, bro. The air is all like, I hated it down in the tube. And then that was one experience for me, because I'd never been on a tube before, and I've never been in like an area like that before.
The Tate Exchange was our school and its values being exhibited and set up in one of the Tate Modern's galleries.
I think the galleries were just like, before I went to the Tate, were just a bit boring, that they were just pictures on a wall. But when I went there and they told us like the stories behind all the pictures, then you got like in depth with it, and it almost felt like you were a part of it, because you knew what was going on, you knew where it came from, and it was like really cool, really awesome.
Being me, I didn't think that like somebody like me who's like into like grime music and football, like, and doesn't like art, would be in a gallery. And I thought that people who like loved coffee shops and like antique jewellery and art and stuff wouldn't expect or want to see someone like me in their galleries. But then when I actually got there, it was, like I said, just very welcoming, and anyone can be there.
I've went there and like I didn't take it for granted. So now when I came back, I'd like take everything, like I take more care of things and don't take anything for granted anymore.
I was shy at the start, and then I got a bit better when I got to know like more people.
I don't know where those stereotypes come from. I think maybe it's the people that shout the loudest are the ones that are heard the most, and like maybe it's the people that go there the most that people look to and say they're the only ones that can go there.
My memories of Tate, or one of them, are just getting stuck in and doing the making, because I've always been like, oh, what if it goes wrong, or oh, what people think. But I've learned to just go in and just do what you think straight away.
I learned more about people, and I learned how to like create more and use my imagination more often.
Well, the Tate was really fun, really educational, and it was a one-in-a-lifetime experience.
I like the turbine and how the bricks were like that. Turbine rolling down hills, running down hills.
Even being in the Tate and going up to this private room that we had to ourselves, like it was just amazing, because like I'm never going to get that again unless I become like this world-famous artist.
It's not like learning where you do your English and your maths and your geography and blah blah blah. It was more just like learning each other's opinions. Like there was loads of like debates and stuff going on, as well as art. Like there was this big blank canvas wall that people were just drawing on and writing on, and then like a big debate about like feminism and like loads of like different subjects just come up, and they was expressing that through what they was drawing as well and writing about. So yeah, it was almost like we learned through art.
whilst we were there, we had sort of questions based on to help us learn and what our achievement was going to be at the end of the Tate, and mine was to be more curious and open-minded about things that I wasn't interested in, to try and connect more with it. And now I'm not 100% I've reached that target, but I'm slowly getting there, because just having that experience has made me realise a lot more things, and just to go and do stuff and think more about it.
Went off and we designed our own thing. Me personally, I made a tree with, our main project was thoughts and feelings about how people thought of children not having a say. It's we're just as mature as some of our adults. So I made a tree, and then we hung bags up, and people could put their thoughts and ideas in the bags.
By hanging them off the tree, Billy?
Yeah, I know, but are you taking them? Or are you sorry? Are you making a hole with the knife? I need the knife then.
There's a quick sketch of Tom on the microphone talking back to the school.
Now get your leg.
I introduced Tom to the work of John Hartfield, who's a political artist in the Nazi era, very brave man, and showed Tom that you can produce great works of art without having to be able to draw, while using collage, etc.
Yeah, I remember there was, down in the Tate Gallery, there was loads of pictures by this guy who lived just before World War II, and he drew them all. He lived in Germany, and it was all about Hitler and how bad Hitler was going to be, and loads of drawings basically mugging off Hitler and all of his men. And then he had to run away from Germany just before the war, and then when the war happened, everyone said, right, this guy actually predicted what was going to happen in World War II, and that was just sort of stuck with me.
These are various notes. Where are we here? What's the time now? Is the mantra that I gave our students to work with, and kept asking them, where are we? And they'd all answer here, and it was to make sure they were living the moment all the time they were there. And it's one of the things that Rookie mentioned when she was talking to the symposium about living in the moment, which I think it was important for the whole experience.
I can remember when I was sat in front of the people talking, and Jeff said something to us before, when we were just walking around in London, and he said something to us, and he said, what time is it? And we were all checking our watches and seeing what time it was, and he went, no, what time is it? And we went, well, I don't know. And he was like, it's now. And I remember saying it in front of these people, and they were all just looking at me like, what's she going on about? But I asked the people who were talking with me, what time is it? And Billy and Tom and Alicia and Ivory, they all went, now. And I said, well, where are we? And everyone was looking at us to say, we're in London, and then they replied as well, we're here. And that's what I took from it. It's Jeff said something, and it sort of just stuck on with us. So now every time I see Jeff, he'll say, what time is it? And I'll be like, it's now. And he'll ask me, where are you? And it'll be, I'm here. And it's a really good way of thinking about something. You're in the moment. So I think that's what I remember the most.
There's a quick drawing of Rookie talking to the people in the symposium. And I've written on there, why does Rookie feel she has no voice? Because she clearly has got quite a powerful voice, certainly in that situation.
Our school teaches us in such a different way, and not to be mature, but to have a different way of thinking. And I feel like our connection with adults is not really like a teacher and student. It's more like not a friendship, but it's we're more talkative to our teachers because we trust them, and they understand us, and they'll listen to us, and they'll help us. We got told to basically go in and make our own projects. They just told us to make, and we didn't really know what to do. So I decided to choose something that I'd already learned about and stuff. So it was about children having their own voice, and I based my project on that. And I sort of taught some of the other children that went with us about it, and we made a project on it, and so we sort of like were self-teaching each other about things that we already knew, so that was quite a good learning experience.
Young people's voice and ideas began to affect the way things happened, particularly through Rookie, who's got this issue about students not being heard, which she was articulating. And she started a piece of sculpture to say this. It was like a tree with bags hanging on it with statements about how young people need to have more say and need to have a vote and things like that, and their opinions should be heard. And she was actually invited into these seminars where all the sort of posh people were discussing the future of art education, all the philosophical stuff. And she went in front of this crowd of intellectuals and held her own and had this interchange with them, and it was really amazing. It actually brought tears to my eyes because the way she was talking with her other students in front of these assembled people was really wonderful. So although at one stage she was saying she hadn't got a voice, at the end of the day she had more voice than anybody else there, I reckon.
So I think it was really scary at first, but once I started talking about it and you could see that people were enjoying what you were talking about, it definitely made me happier and see things in a different way, and thinking that they're actually just they're listening to me and they actually want to know what I'm going on about, and nothing bad's going to happen because you know that they're there to listen to you. So yeah, I think it was alright in the end.
Seeing Rookie like that, there was so much passion in what she was saying, and she believed every word. And sometimes when you see someone and you ask them questions about something, if they're blagging it, then they're always when they're answering questions. Whereas if they know what they're talking about and they're passionate about what they're talking about, when you ask them a question, they've already got the answer because they've already been thinking about it. So seeing her like that, it was just mad knowing that it was something she really wanted to do and something that she really believed in.
I think I've definitely changed in a positive way. I see things differently because of the different things that other people have spoken to me about. I had certain people come up to me and telling me that I've done really well in like the Tate, and I was like, it sort of just opened my mind. My project is about young people having a voice and an opinion on like voting. It could be anything. You could like maybe want to stand up one day and do an assembly in front of people, and basically just younger people having more of a responsibility for things that, you know, actually concern us. Because I think growing up without being able to vote would be, it's actually like really annoying, because we're growing up through the mistakes that adults make, and whatever adults do will affect us in a way because we're living through that.
Also, another thing that happened is that I had a word, one of our students, Maria, in phase 2, had made this piece of sculpture which I thought was really good, and I had a word with the staff at the Tate and said, would it be possible to have her work exhibited in the actual gallery alongside other works of art? And they said, oh, I don't think so, but you could ask the manager. So we got the manager and asked the manager, and he said yes, it would be possible. So we got security guards. We went off down a lift and a separate part of the building, and we took her piece of sculpture and we photographed it alongside works of artists like Donald Judd and Anthony Caro. It was really great.
Well, I brought in my diary, which had like a picture of the London Underground on, which I thought would be suitable. And then I made an artwork like the London Underground. And then I knew it was just 2D, so I made it into a 3D kind of sculpture. And also people really liked it. So I was just doing my artwork, making my sculpture, and then Jeff, he said, would you like to, could you come with me? So I went with him, and we went in like this lift down to floor 2, and there was like these photographers, and I took a picture of me with my work next to some like famous arts people and their artwork. So it was really fun.
How many sculptors consider their art has been exhibited in the Tate? She's there next to like Rachel Whiteread and some really like household names, and then we're getting there, I promise. Here we go. So this is us trying to find a suitable place.
It makes you kind of feel really proud, but then when you look at the other work, which to me looked much better than mine, I was kind of embarrassed, but it was really exciting.
She went down like in the secret, like where only like the special artists go down this lift, and they put her next to all the amazing pieces of art, and that would be a really good experience.
My horizon. I would like to see younger people in the future having more of a voice and maybe even being allowed to vote. And my horizon would be just making an impact on something, like not something big, but just having an impact on someone or someone's day positively. So yeah, that's my horizon.
Well, I know that I destroyed my work.
You don't know like what the young people are thinking all the time, because they might be thinking something like completely different.
I really liked was when we all made our work, and right in the end, we got all of our artwork together, and we had that exhibition. And then after we'd done the exhibition, we destroyed all of our work, or some of it I think we brought back home, but some of it was quite funny how we spent quite a long time and then we just all destroyed it.
I think I will take away the experience of confidence, because I built a lot of confidence when I was there talking to new people that I've never met. So I'm going to take away my confidence. Being able to speak out in front of people is such a good experience and such a good thing to take away from it, because now I can feel like I could do it in front of my class or in front of the school maybe. And yeah, I think I'm going to take away a lot of my confidence, and just the experience, the whole thing, to be honest, was really good. I'm going to take that away.
So Tate Exchange took the form of a pop-up school and a pop-up symposium. And the symposium gathered a whole group of people who are interested in the creative dimension of learning. So a number of presenters prepared provocations that the audience then engaged with. And one of the last provocations came from the young people in the pop-up school. And there were things that they wanted to say about their experience. There were things that they wanted to say about their lives and about what was simply not acceptable to them in their generation. That was an interesting thing to observe, people occupying the public sphere, the public domain, with confidence in that way, having spent a bit of time thinking about what mattered to them in those terms. And they wanted the vote at 14. That was one of the things I remember. They wanted a lot more as well.